found it completely discouraging to find a bunch of corporate CEOs getting in the middle of politics. My advice to the corporate CEOs of America is to stay out of politics. Don't pick sides in these big fights.
Corporate CEOs in politics? Perish the thought. As we pointed out last night, it was pretty rich for Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell to tell corporate CEOs to stay out of politics, considering this is the same Mitch McConnell who is arguably corporate America's biggest champion over the last several decades. Now, today, he repeated his warning, but added an important caveat.
So my warning, if you will, to corporate America is to stay out of politics. It's not what you're designed for. I'm not talking about political contributions. Most of them contribute to both sides. They have political action committees. That's fine. It's legal. It's appropriate. I support that. I'm talking about taking a position on a highly incendiary issue like this and punishing a community or a state because you don't like a particular law they passed. I just think it's stupid.
Oh, my word. Now, everyone get that? Mitch McConnell wants corporations to keep giving him money. He just doesn't want them taking public opinions on laws and stuff. I mean, there's no one more invested in corporations being involved in politics than Mitch McConnell. That's really not an overstatement. In fact, getting corporations political access has been one of his life's great projects. I mean, his primary pet issue has been for decades destroying everything related to campaign finance reform, using an extremely aggressive theory of the First Amendment protection of speech that you cannot restrict the spending of corporations on advertising or independent expenditures because you are therefore infringing on their First Amendment rights to speak publicly about politically contentious issues. That's the heart of the theory. In 1997, nearly a quarter of a century ago, Republicans blocked the passage of the McCain-Feingold campaign finance reform bill. At the time, the Washington Post reported, quote, McCain-Feingold is dead, says Senator Mitch McConnell, longtime leader of the opposition forces. It is not going to pass ever, he claimed. Well, McConnell was wrong about McCain-Feingold becoming law, but he did everything he could to get rid of it, including becoming the face of the case challenging the law, duly named McConnell v. FEC, which made it all the way to the Supreme Court, but failed. Eventually, McConnell emerged victorious in 2010 in the Citizens United case when the conservatives in the Supreme Court found, along with McConnell's argument, right, that spending for political ads during campaign season are, in fact, free speech. Which means basically you can form an entity for the purposes of impacting election and just spend unlimited dollars, right? So there's now no longer any spending limits. So we get super PACs. The First Amendment lets there be that. And McConnell's devotion to corporate interests has paid off for him specifically. Just days before the 2020 election, he was leading all senators in competitive races and campaign donations from S&P 500 CEOs. Notably, not a lot of Democrats at the top of that list. Now, a few corporations have just said they oppose Republican law, haven't even done anything. And Mitch McConnell says they should just shut the hell up and keep the money flowing into his campaign coffers. Because Mitch McConnell's theory is this: money is speech, but speech is not speech. And that's because none of this was ever about speech for McConnell or any of the other Republicans now taking umbrage. It was always about power.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.